I've recently come to understand what people meant when they say that you create your own reality. For a long time, I think as other people, I used to think that my own reality, life, everything around me was happening to me. I used to think that, you know, the events that happened to me, whether they were good or bad, it was really hard for me to see that they were caused by me in some way. I just thought that stuff happened and things were random. Um, I just thought that even the person that I was, I thought that I was just like some sort of random person, and that objective reality was just what it was, right? Um, and on my path of healing, I've come to realize how, well, actually, your reality, even if you see it on a scientific level, like it's like your brain creates a projection, and that's what your 3D reality is. So something that might seem real to you through your own perception is very likely going to be different for someone else. Our beliefs create our reality. The things that you think are true are going to manifest in your 3D reality. And the things that you don't believe in, you're not going to necessarily see them, right? Um, I have like an example of this is like, for example, someone who's colorblind, maybe they might not be able to see certain colors. It doesn't mean that that person is wrong. They are right. But it means that to their perspective, they can't see certain colors. And then maybe most people are able to see those colors, but the goal of understanding this concept is that you create your reality. Your brain creates your reality. Your subconscious mind and your subconscious beliefs create your reality. So, whatever is going to be true to you is going to show up in your reality. And sometimes we have a hard time understanding other people because they have their own reality that is playing out, and we are just sitting here and we're like, okay, but that doesn't make sense to me. So recently, what I've come to realize is how my reality is based on beliefs from my past. So for the past few years, I've been working on changing my subconscious programming and rewiring my brain. And it's interesting to see how that works. Um, I feel like I started mainly a gratitude practice of learning and teaching myself how to have gratitude, teaching myself how to, um, like find the smallest insignificant things and see them as gifts from the universe. And I feel like over time, when I started doing that, I started seeing abundance around me. Things that I used to take for granted, today I realize how blessed I am to have them. And so when you do that, it's almost like your outside world didn't really change as much. What did change was my perspective on those things. And since my perspective changed, in a way, the way I saw them changed. And that's what changed really, was my perspective of it. So I feel like if there's something in your life that you don't really like, you can either find acceptance because it can't change. And if it can change, you can ask yourself, is this something that is happening to me, or is this something that was a choice that came due to a belief? Because if it's a belief, then it's maybe a belief that you can work on changing. I also think about self-image. My self-image used to be pretty bad. Um, like the beliefs I used to have about myself were wrong. I used to, even the way I looked, there was a time in my life where I didn't appreciate the way I looked. I had so much perfectionism, and I would focus so much on like minor flaws and stuff like that. once I started working on my subconscious beliefs of my worth, my self love, my appearance, once I did that, it's almost like magically the way I saw myself and the way I just looked in the mirror changed. It's it's magical, but it's not like I didn't change the way I dressed or I didn't got plastic surgery, but it's changing the way you feel on the inside that brought a change on the outside, and that was really mind-blowing. What else? Also, I guess also like the words that we use and the way we speak to ourselves and the way we speak out loud to the universe carries so much um power. It's really powerful. um it's kind of like when people constantly keep saying that they're broke. They keep saying I'm broke or making jokes about it and stuff like that. The more you say that, the more you're going to create more of that in your reality. It just makes sense, because words are like spells, and when you constantly repeat something to yourself, like an affirmation, that's when a belief comes up. Beliefs are really easy to change, it's really just repetition. Another thing that I did to change my beliefs was for the past like 2 or 3 years, I've been listening to affirmations. There's a lot of them on YouTube. Um, like 8-hour affirmations. I would just play it on my speaker on my phone and let it play in the background while I sleep. It worked 100%. The next morning I would wake up, I would feel so fresh. I would feel I would feel like I woke up with energy. And over time, it's like the positive affirmations would come change whatever negative belief I had, and I would see it slowly manifest in my 3D reality. So, yeah, affirmations. But even during the day, speaking of yourself highly or thinking of yourself highly, or choosing to be positive, choosing to see the positivity around you or in other people, and in a situation where you get results that you don't like and you want to change that or work on that. We really create our reality. Maybe the reality that you got from childhood was more like something that was imposed on you because of the people around you or your environment. But as an adult, we have the power and the responsibility to ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this just me repeating a belief or a pattern that was passed down onto me? And is it something that I can change? We really are the masters of our own lives, and we can write the stories of our lives that works for us, and we can create realities that match what we want. Um, and it's really of my belief that the universe really just wants the best for us. Um, the universe really wants that. But at the end of it, you need to ask yourself, is it really something outside of you that is preventing you from having the best for yourself? Or is it some sort of internal belief of lack, or is it some sort of internal belief of worth or something like that that needs to be changed? You know, for me, once I started confronting that part of myself, I realized there's no such thing as enemies or ops or anything like that. I realized that all of the things that happened in my life were choices that I made, whether they were subconscious or not, they were still choices that I made. And the universe always wanted to be on my side and give me the best experiences possible. I was, for a long time, my worst enemy. that was on me though. The universe was always guiding me towards things that were better, and I was settling. I was being um like betraying myself, and I was leaning into self-sabotage. All of those things are coming from negative beliefs about myself. That's just really it. And that's not the fault of anyone. It's not necessarily the fault of one specific person. That's just the way it is. Um, it's just a result of my environment, stuff that I went through in the past, people I grew up around. That's really just it. The universe has always been on my side 100%. And today I'm just faced with the consequences of my own choices. And eventually, coming to this realization should make us feel empowered, because I used to feel guilty and almost felt shame for realizing that I used to put blame on something outside of myself for my own misery. And then I realized that all of these were choices. But what empowered me is realizing if you understand that you create your misery, then that means you create your happiness, you create your reality. You can live in a way that is intentional. You can intentionally choose who you want in your life, where do you want to live, what kind of job you want to make, how much money you want to make. All of those are choices. They're not going to change overnight, but the idea is that once you allow yourself to step into the abundance and the path that the universe was going to has planned for you from the beginning, and once you start putting in the work to be able to receive it, then you realize I'm unstoppable. Really, it's magical. If I can choose to be miserable, I can also choose to be happy. There's no way that that's not the case. I used to think that society was stopping me or something else. And it's like, not even society. There are people who look like me, people of my same gender or my same sexual orientation, who are living the life that I want to live. So there's no really any excuse. My worst enemy used to be myself. That is really just what it is. Once I realized that, I was able to choose the reality that I wanted to live in and put in the steps to make it happen.